All right, so the next question comes from Elena, who says she's rocking a 2016 R6 and she wants to upgrade to either a V4 or RSV4. Unfortunately, Elena, for you, I have no idea anything about those bikes. If someone's watching this and you're familiar with the RSV4 and the V4, maybe you could drop a comment naming some of the differences and giving her a little hand. I will say both of them are absolute monsters, though. I know that. I know the RSV4 is a 1100cc motor, which I think the V4 is the same, or maybe it's the V4R or the V4S, whichever. I don't really know. But they're beasts. They're fast. They're fast bikes. They're faster than this, at least on paper. I would say, just off of an aesthetic standpoint, I would much prefer the RSV4 over the V4, just because it looks so much more cooler to me, in my opinion. The design is really unique, and you don't really see the RSV4s out and about. At least here in New York City, you don't really see them out and about often. In fact, the only time I've actually ever seen an Aprilia really is at Two Wheel Tuesday. I've seen one slide by Fort Totten a few times. There was one in my neighborhood, a yellow one, but you don't really see them, man. When you see them, it's like seeing a rare Pokemon or something. It's like, oh shit, an Aprilia. At least for me, I don't know. Maybe people have friends with Aprilias and they see them all the time. I don't know. But here in New York City, at least, I don't see them often. Rare bike. It sounds phenomenal. And that would be my recommendation to you is go with the RSV4. But again, I don't really know anything about the two bikes enough to do a fair comparison, I would say. So hopefully someone in the comments can help you out, or maybe you could just do your due diligence on the good old YouTube. But listen, can you really go wrong with either option? I mean, a freaking V4 and an RSV4. Either one you get, you're winning, man. Either one you get, you're winning. So good luck to you. Thank you for asking the question. I appreciate it. And thanks for supporting the channel, man. All right, so our next question comes from Taco Man, who says he's on a 2020, or actually, sorry, he's on an 82 650 calf racer, and he's thinking about upgrading to a 2020 Ninja Zxr. Honestly, dude, I say go for it. The 636, you just can't beat that motor. You get that little extra bump in power, that little extra bump in torque, and it really does make all the difference. Plus, the price point of these new Zxrs, man, you're getting a steal. In my opinion anyways, you're getting a steal. You're getting a lot of bike for not that much money, man. Like, it's a great buy. I would say, coming from a calf racer, I guess how you have it set up would really matter if it's going to be a substantial difference or not. I know a lot of calf racer guys run kind of their calf racers kind of built kind of sport bikey, meaning they have similar bars. I've seen calf racers with actual 600cc sport bike motors that are the power plant for them. So I'm not sure how you have yours set up. A lot of guys, again, they have the more racy calf racer. So I would say if you have it in that configuration where it's a little bit more racy, then it's not really going to be that big of a jump or a change going from that to the positioning and the riding of the 2020 Zxr. You said you had a 650 motor, so I'm not sure if it's like from a cruiser 650 or if there's some sort of old 650 sport bike motor that you put in there. But yeah, it shouldn't be that much of a change. I mean, any new bike you get, you're gonna have to relearn the bike again, so it doesn't really matter. Thanks for asking the question, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. I appreciate it, and hopefully you like the answer, man. Thanks. All right, so the next question comes from Mr. Holgate. He's asking, has riding ever got boring / dry? Do you have periods where you really want to ride and then periods where you just don't want to touch your bike, see your bike or whatever? And has other bike classes such as cruisers and calf racers and all that change your perspective on riding? So first things first, again, I come from riding a cruiser. That was my first time riding a motorcycle, my first experience, and that's the first motorcycle I fell in love with. So yes, there's every motorcycle has different characteristics, right? So if I jump on an MT or FZ, it's going to be a way different bike, a way different experience versus something like a sport bike. If I jump on the cruiser or bobber, it's going to be a way different experience than the MT. So all different bikes have different characteristics, and you're going to have a different experience on all of them. yes, it's definitely going to change your perspective on riding. You're going to realize that riding is, if you're just thrown into motorcycling through a sport bike, you're going to realize that riding is a lot more fun in many different ways versus just going really fast, really straight on your sport bike. As far as riding ever getting dry to me and boring, I had that happen when I first started riding. When I first got my 600 and I was just riding all around for no reason. I had no destination. I had nothing to do. I would just jump on my bike and just ride aimlessly and pointlessly everywhere. And that was really, really boring and dry, especially doing it day after day after day, being out all day, all night. Nowadays, anytime I jump on this bike, it's a good time and it's never boring or dry. If I was riding this bike each and every single day, day and night, I would probably get bored pretty quickly. Again, there's but so much you could do with the sport bike. The fun is all really just going fast, or at least the excitement of it. But yeah, I mean, I would say don't ride as much. If you are out here riding and getting bored, make sure you link up with other riders. Make sure you guys actually do things. You know, riding just to ride is definitely not the funnest thing you could do. Yeah, riding just to ride is definitely not the funnest thing you could do. But I would say riding really never does get truly boring unless you're riding that much just aimlessly. But damn, this thing looks so good in the sun. Wow. But yeah, anyways, dude, Mr. Holgate, thank you for asking the question. Thank you for supporting the channel. I really, really do appreciate it. And hopefully you like the answer I gave, man. All right, so while I'm here, I'll show you guys a little bit of the view and answer Jay's question. Jay's the dude I rode with when we went to the Long Island City Pier. He was on the Zxxr 600. He came all the way from Jersey. Shout out to Jay. He's asking, when do you know that you are ready for 1000cc, that 1000cc jump? When do you know that you're ready for that? Dude, honestly, I would say it's all mental, man. I would say it really, there's no time, there's no set amount of miles you can ride on one bike. I would say it's all mental. It's at least if you're casually street riding like I do, it's all mental, because you're not really going to be doing much on the bike, unless you're like a speed demon and you're going to go 180 down the freeway. Then you might want to cool off on 1000 a little bit. But no, yeah, it's all mental, man. They're not as big, bad, and scary as people make them seem. Maybe the older ones, but these new leader bikes, man, the way they're coming out with all this tech and all this safety features and all this stuff, it's dude, you could get on a 200 horsepower machine and rip it and not have a care in the world, because all the safety aids that you have are helping you. It's not really, it doesn't really matter about skill anymore when it comes to jumping on 1000cc these days. I mean, if you think about it, what modern leader bike is nicknamed the Widowmaker? There isn't any. I can't think of one that's nicknamed the Widowmaker. Whereas the older thousands, there's a bunch of them that are nicknamed the Widowmaker because they're just animals, man. No traction, no ABS. It's all rider skill, and they're complete animals. It's just as raw as you could get. Again, you guys see me ride my S1000 around. Has it ever looked crazy uncontrollable at any point in any video that I've ever posted? No. And I rip it sometimes pretty hard and nothing really happens. I mean, yeah, you get the thrill of going really fast, but again, it's not trying to throw you off the bike. The front wheel isn't lifting extremely high to where you can't manage it or anything like that. So I would say these days, modern leader bikes, whenever you're ready for one, jump on one, man. It's not as scary and big bad as people make it sound or people make it seem. Again, this isn't the late 90s or early 2000s anymore, man. These things are coming with all the safety features, so you're pretty much set to jump on one whenever you feel like it, man. Thanks for supporting the channel always, Jay. Thanks for rocking with me throughout all this time, and coming out and doing that ride with us as well. Greatly appreciate it. And thanks for the question, man. All right, so we're gonna cruise over to the other spot and answer the rest of these questions. So B Hype Beast asked, you say you were a car guy, what cars did you have? Well, don't get too excited, man. I didn't have anything really cool. I had my first two cars were two Honda Civics. I don't have pictures of the first one, but I do have pictures of the second one that I had, which I freaking love that car, man. I had a My first Honda Civic was a EK 4-door, which was like a 96 sedan, Honda Civic sedan or something like that. And then the second the second car that I had was the 90, I think it was a 99 Honda Civic Coupe, which we call the EK Coupe. Some people refer to it as the EJ8. I'll put a picture up on the screen. I'll put a couple pictures up for you guys so you guys can see that car. You guys can see the banner on the windscreen says, or the windshield says, "Help change the world." I was very young and naive back then, thinking you could do shit like that, obviously. But no, yeah, that was a cool car, man. That was a very cool experience. The Hondas taught me everything, dude. Like switching out suspension, engine swaps, tranny swaps, axle stuff, tires, wheels, everything you could think of, man, with the car. These Honda Civics, or the older ones anyways, were like Legos, man. You could just take them apart and put them back together. So I learned a lot messing around with the Honda Civics. Plus they were cheap and affordable, and at the time I was just a young broke kid. So yeah, that's what got me into the whole car game. The other car that I had, I owned probably like 10 cars, maybe 9 or something like that, but I think I only hooked up 4 of them. The other car I had, which I don't have a picture of, is I had a really clean Acura Integra, which I owned for like 3 weeks. I did not own that car for long, man, but that thing was probably one of the cleanest Acura Integras in New York City at the time. A lot of clean ones out and about nowadays, but at that time, man, that was probably one of the cleanest one, and I didn't even register it, drive it, or anything. I brought it from the dude. It sat in the driveway for like 2 weeks, and I sold it to some other kid. No idea what happened to that car, but it was clean. The other car I had was a Mazda Miata, 1994 Mazda Miata, man. That car was kick-ass. I missed that car each and every single summer. I used to take the top down and just cruise, man. That was such a beautiful ride. It's a Sportster convertible. Really fun car to drive. It was manual, of course, and I just used to rip around that thing all the time, man. I'll put up some pictures on the screen if I haven't already, but that was such a nice experience, man. I plan on owning one again soon, sometime in the distant future, because they're just too good. But I would go with the newer model, the retractable hardtop ones and all that. I think they started in 2015, 16, 17, somewhere around there. But yeah, man, the 1994 Mazda Miata had a lowered front lip, Koisi K1 wheels, as you guys see from the pictures and stuff. That was a really cool car right there. The other car I had was a Mazda 3. It wasn't a Mazda 3 Speed. If you know anything about the Speed models, they come either turbo or supercharged. I can't remember right now, but it wasn't the Speed model, so don't get too happy. It was just a base model Mazda 3 hatchback. I love that thing. I had a lowered front lip. It was 5-speed. That was a really cool and fun car to have. It brought me into the hatchback world, which I have a love for hatchbacks since I owned that car. Hatchbacks are just so practical and so cool, man. I put it up on the screen for you guys so you guys could see it. It wasn't anything special. It was on like stock wheels, but lowered it on BC coilovers, front lip, and yeah, I had plans for that car, but I ended up getting rid of it. Just didn't really like driving stick in New York City anymore. Just too much traffic, too much going on, and it just wasn't as enjoyable. My dream car is a Evo 8 for anyone wondering. But yeah, man, that was the cars that I own. They were pretty cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the pictures and stuff that I put up. Thanks again for the question, dude, and thanks for paying attention. I feel like I rarely mention that I'm a car enthusiast to some extent, and it's cool that you picked up on that, man. So I appreciate it. Thanks for asking, and thanks for supporting the channel. How do you guys feel about this view? You guys rocking with this view right here? Fire. The next question comes from one of my favorite human beings on planet Earth, DRAGONESS MOTO. She also has a channel. I'll leave it linked in the description below. I forgot to mention Mancy S1000RR has a channel as well. Or maybe I did mention it, I don't know. But his channel will also be linked in the description, as well as Hunter THEUS. I think those are all the people that commented that have channels. But last but not least, DRAGONESS MOTO asked, very cool question. She asks, dream places to ride your motorcycle, man. Wow. What a solid question. Thank you for asking, DRAGONESS MOTO. I know your real name, but I don't want to say it on the internet. But dream places, man. Number 1 on the list, Jamaica. Home base, baby. I would love to rip around in Jamaica, man. Link up with Paradise Biker, go for a little cruise ski with the boy. So yeah, Jamaica for number 1. Second would be Hawaii. If If you guys would take a chance and look at DRAGONESS Moto's channel, she actually did a Hawaii trip where she was in Hawaii riding around, and it looked freaking sick. It looked amazing, man. I felt like I got a little mini tour of Hawaii on a bike while I was sitting at home on my couch. Hawaii just looks awesome, man. I really got into Hawaii because of the car culture there. The cars there are really sick. The vibe looks really chill, and then the scenery on top of that. You guys know I love my scenery. The third place on the list would be the Nürburgring, man. The Nürburgring. I would love to rip my S1000 around the ring a couple times. I probably don't have the skill to go around it fast, obviously, but I would love to just rip around and just do my thing at the Nürburgring, man. I've watched so many car videos and motorcycle videos of people just ripping around the ring and just having a blast, and it just looks so fun. And the last place is the Isle of Man TT, man. I'm not sure what that place is called. I don't know if it's called the Isle of Man, but I know when I just look up the videos, I type in Isle of Man TT. Dude, sick place. I would definitely love to ride and just rip the straightaways there and go around those bends. I obviously wouldn't be doing any type of crazy speeding or anything like that, but I would love to rip the Isle of Man TT. That is a sick looking place. I obviously wouldn't go not nearly as fast as any of those guys that race it do. But I know there's some straightaway parts where you can really hit it, and the scenery there just looks sick. Just imagine hitting it, be able to hit high triple digits with beautiful scenery around you, no cars, no worries. It just looks like an awesome freaking ride, man. But yeah, those are my dream places. All of them are out of the US because I don't really have any dream places like that I would like to ride in the US. I think a lot of places would be cool, like Cali, Utah, Colorado, you know, those places would be cool, but they're not like dream places. But I would definitely love to ride there. Woo! Oh, I love it. All the anxiety went away after I fixed this thing, man. I could just bang gears without any worries. But yeah, man, that's it for the Q&A. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun actually making this video. It was pretty cool. I'm going to tuck in a little here because the wind is kind of wild right now. DRAGONESS Moto, thank you for the question. And yeah, I appreciate it. I'm going to be cruising home fully tucked. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.